the fluorescent lights of St. Mary's. Hospital hummed their usual midnight song as I made my rounds through the maternity ward. I was Sarah Mitchell, a labor and delivery nurse with 12 years of experience, and I thought I'd seen everything. But nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to discover on that cold November night. It was 2:47 a.m. when I heard it, a faint, muffled cry coming from the women's restroom near the waiting area. At first I thought I was imagining things. The exhaustion of a double shift can play tricks on your mind. But then I heard it again, weak and desperate, like a kitten trapped somewhere it shouldn't be. My heart began to race as I pushed open the bathroom door. The crying grew louder. I checked each stall, my hands trembling until I reached the last one. There, wrapped in a thin grocery store towel and placed inside a small cardboard box, was a newborn baby boy. His tiny face was red from crying, his umbilical cord roughly cut and tied with what looked like a shoelace. "Oh my God," I whispered, scooping him up immediately. He couldn't have been more than a few hours old. His skin was still covered in vernix, and he was dangerously cold to the touch. I rushed him to the NICU, my training kicking in even as my mind reeled with questions. Who would do this? How long had he been there? Was he okay? Dr. Peterson met me in the NICU, his experienced eyes quickly assessing the situation. "Good catch, Sarah," he said, already examining the baby. Another hour in that cold bathroom and we might have lost him. The next few hours were a blur of tests, treatments, and paperwork. The baby was surprisingly healthy despite his traumatic entrance into the world. The police were called, security footage was reviewed, but the mother had been careful. She'd worn a hood and kept her face down. She was a ghost, and this innocent child was the only proof she'd ever been there. They named him Baby John Doe in the system, but I couldn't bring myself to call him that. When I held him during my breaks, I whispered Noah to him. It means rest and comfort, and I wanted him to feel both after such a terrible beginning. The hospital became Noah's temporary home, and I became his most frequent visitor. Even on my days off, I found myself driving back to hold him, feed him, sing to him. My colleagues noticed, especially my best friend and fellow nurse, Jennifer. "Sarah, you know you can't save them all," she said gently one evening as I rocked Noah to sleep. "I'm not trying to save them all," I replied, looking down at his peaceful face. "Just this one." The truth was, I understood abandonment more than I cared to admit. I'd grown up in foster care myself, bouncing from home to home, always wondering why my own mother hadn't wanted me. Maybe that's why Noah's situation struck such a deep chord. I saw myself in his tiny, innocent face. When Child Protective Services came to transfer Noah to foster care, I made a decision that would change both our lives forever. I submitted an application to become his foster parent. My supervisor, Linda, thought I was crazy. "Sarah, you're single, you work crazy hours, and you've never been a parent before. Are you sure about this?" I'd never been more sure of anything in my life. The home study process was intense. Social workers combed through every aspect of my life, my finances, my childhood, my relationships, my mental health. There were moments I wanted to give up, moments when the weight of my own past felt too heavy to carry while trying to give Noah a future. But every time I visited him, every time he wrapped his tiny fingers around mine, I found the strength to keep going. 3 months after I found him, Noah came home with me. I'd transformed my spare bedroom into a nursery, painted it a soft blue with clouds on the ceiling. I'd read every parenting book I could find, baby-proofed every corner, and probably bought way too many stuffed animals. That first night I barely slept. I kept checking to make sure he was breathing, adjusting his blankets, just watching him in wonder. This tiny human, abandoned and alone, was now my responsibility. The weight of it was terrifying and beautiful all at once. The early years were harder than I'd imagined. Balancing 12-hour shifts with single parenthood pushed me to my limits. There were nights when Noah had colic and wouldn't stop crying, mornings when I was so exhausted I could barely function, and moments when I doubted whether I was enough for him. But there were also the magical moments, his first smile, his first laugh, the way he'd reach for me when I came home from work. My colleagues at the hospital became our extended family. Jennifer became Aunt Jen, always ready to babysit. Dr. Peterson checked on Noah's development personally, becoming the grandfather figure he needed. When Noah was 2, I began the adoption process. The legal proceedings felt endless, but finally, on a sunny Tuesday afternoon in Judge Martinez's courtroom, Noah officially became Noah Mitchell. I sobbed through the entire ceremony while Noah, oblivious to the significance, played with his toy truck on my lap. As Noah grew, I was honest with him about how we became a family. I used age-appropriate language, telling him that his birth mother loved him but couldn't take care of him, and that I found him and fell in love with him instantly. He seemed to accept this easily as a young child, more interested in his toys and cartoons than the complexities of his origin story. Kindergarten brought new challenges. Other kids had typical family structures, moms and dads, siblings, family trees that were straightforward. Noah started asking harder questions. Why don't I have a dad? Why did my real mom leave me? Don't you wish you had your own kid instead of me? That last question broke my heart into a million pieces. Noah, look at me, I said, kneeling down to his eye level. You are my own kid. You are my son in every way that matters. I didn't give birth to you, but that doesn't make you any less mine. I chose you. Every single day I choose you. He hugged me tight that day, and I felt we'd crossed an important bridge together. First grade brought the Mother's Day assignment that I'd been dreading. Each child had to make a card and write about their mom. Noah came home upset, clutching a crumpled paper. The teacher said to write about when I was born and what my mom felt. He said, tears streaming down his face. But you weren't there when I was born. You found me in a bathroom. That's weird. That's not normal. My heart ached for him. I pulled him close and told him our story again, but this time I added something I'd been afraid to say before. You're right, our story is different. But Noah, different doesn't mean less. It means special. It means that we were meant to find each other. On the worst night of your life, I was exactly where I needed to be. That's not coincidence, sweetie. That's destiny. He looked up at me with those big brown eyes. Really? Really, and you know what? I may not have been there the moment you were born, but I was there for your second birth, the moment you became my son, and I'll be there for every important moment after that. He worked on that card for hours, finally creating something that told our unique story. His teacher later told me she'd cried reading it. The summer Noah turned 8 was when everything came together. We were at our favorite park, the one with the big oak tree and the creek, where we'd spend hours catching tadpoles. Noah was on the swings, pumping his legs and laughing, when he suddenly stopped and ran over to me. "Mom!" he shouted. Not Sarah, not anything else. Just Mom. I froze. He'd called me Sarah Mom before, or just Sarah, despite my gentle encouragement to use whatever felt comfortable. But this was the first time he'd called me just Mom so naturally, so certainly. "Yes, baby?" I managed to say, my voice thick with emotion. "Can we get ice cream after this?" That was it. Such a simple question, but the word Mom hung in the air like the most beautiful music I'd ever heard. I started crying right there on the park bench. "Why are you crying?" Noah asked, concerned. "We don't have to get ice cream if you don't want to." I laughed through my tears. "Happy tears, Noah. These are happy tears. And yes, we can absolutely get ice cream. We can get the biggest sundae they have." That evening, as we sat on our porch eating our ice cream, Noah suddenly got serious. Mom? "Yes, sweetheart? I'm glad you found me. I'm glad I'm yours." I set down my ice cream and pulled him into my lap, even though he was getting too big for it. "I'm glad too, Noah. You are the best thing that ever happened to me. Finding you didn't just give you a family, it gave me one too. Before you, I was alone. Now I'm a mom, your mom, and that's the greatest gift in the world." "Even though I was in a bathroom?" he asked, that hint of shame still lingering. "Especially because you were in a bathroom," I said firmly. "Because it means I got to be the one who found you. I got to be the one who saved you, and you got to be the one who saved me right back." He seemed to think about this for a moment. "How did I save you?" "You gave me a purpose, Noah. You taught me what love really means. You showed me that family isn't just about blood, it's about choice, commitment, and showing up every single day. You made me brave. You made me better. You made me whole." He snuggled closer. I love you, Mom. I love you too, son, forever and always. As the sun set that evening, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, I thought about the journey we'd taken together, from a cold hospital bathroom to this warm moment on our porch, from abandonment to belonging, from alone to family. Noah fell asleep in my arms that night, and I carried him to bed, tucking him in carefully. I stood in his doorway for a long moment, watching him sleep peacefully, this beautiful boy who'd changed my entire world. 8 years had passed since that November night, but its lessons stayed with me every single day. Life isn't about the circumstances of your birth or the hand you're dealt. It's about the love you choose to give and receive. It's about showing up even when it's hard. It's about seeing value where others saw trash, finding treasure in the most unexpected places. Noah taught me that every child deserves someone who will fight for them, who will see their worth even when the world has discarded them. He taught me that love doesn't require biology. It requires commitment, presence, and an open heart. And most importantly, he taught me that sometimes the person you're saving ends up being the one who saves you. We are family, not because of blood, but because we chose each other. And that choice, made over and over again every day, is the strongest bond there is. To anyone who has ever felt abandoned, unwanted, or alone, your beginning doesn't determine your ending. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of family. You are worthy of someone who will fight for you. And to anyone considering opening their heart and home to a child in need, do it. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it will change everything. But some children are worth changing everything for. Noah was mine, and I was his, and that made all the difference.